Good morning. This morning we're going to be transplanting our sauce tomatoes into the greenhouse. We have about 36 of them to go in. We're going to take the best ones in for now. And we thought we'd bring you along and show you how we do it. And over the years we've come up with, I think, 7 firm, good tips on how we transplant tomatoes. So follow along with us if you'd like to, and we'll see what we can get done. Thanks. The first tip that we like to recommend is you want to do your transplanting on an overcast day. And wouldn't you know it, today is not an overcast day. So you have 2 choices. You can either go ahead and transplant, or you can wait till this afternoon or this evening when the sun goes down a little bit. The main thing is that if you go ahead and plant today when it's sunny, they'll go into a little bit of a semi-shock, but they'll recover in a few days. So we're going to go ahead and put these plants in.
So now we have a really nice seedling ready for transplant, and these are the original leaves, which we're going to make sure they get buried. And the stem, you never handle the stem if at all possible. There's really tiny little hairs. They look so delicate. So I'm just going to put my fingers like that so that when I tip it, give it a little tap, ta-da, and there is, you can see all the lovely roots. But before I put it in, I'm going to put in some compost so that these roots will have first claim on the lovely nutrients. But I'll add some more. I'm going to put some in the bottom. Here you go. I haven't really touched the stem. All right. Sometimes when they're in the pot for a few weeks, it gets kind of hard, and you wonder, are these roots ever going to be able to work their way through? But, I squeezed it a little bit, and now I'm going to add more of this very nice homemade compost. Stephanie manages the compost bins, and this is really nice. Very nice stuff. So a word about spacing. In the books they tell you 4 to 5 feet apart, and that's okay, I think, if you have loads of room and you're outside and you have so many plants that you don't have a lot of time for pruning. And the reason we have them in here, we take the time. We don't have that many plants. I think we'll have 32 this season. And our goal, as we used to say, is to create little trees. So we watch everything growing, keep it weeded, of course, but we come in and prune off the lower and the lower branches, especially as they start to get very close to the ground, because that's how the diseases get in. So the way we do it, and we prune and create a long looking stem and like a little tree. And these are indeterminate, and last year they proved it, because these things were growing up to the roof of this greenhouse. We couldn't believe it. The leaves were pressing up there. But they were happy, and we really got a lot of tomatoes. And I make a little moat, little well around the outside. Helps to keep the moisture. Another reason for the spacing and pruning is because to avoid bacterial, all kinds of, I don't know the other word, infections or diseases that tomato plants can get, is because there's not enough air circulation. And that's the problem. So pruning it, the air is flowing very easily across the stems and the leaves. The other thing, you water on the bottom. You don't have it, and you might say, well, if they're outside, the rain is falling on the leaves. Well, in a greenhouse, maybe you need more circulation. And so we don't water the leaves. We water at the base. We're going to talk about fertilizers now. You want to feed the plant, make sure it has everything it needs. A lack of calcium can result in what they call blossom end rot, which is you pick up your tomato and you think it looks lovely, and there's a black scab at the bottom. And we'll talk more about that later. But when we were making cheese, we would water the tomato plants with whey to give it extra calcium, and that worked out really well. But our friend Emma is not giving milk anymore, so I don't have that. But we can find other things such as seaweed, and there are liquid fish and seaweed fertilizers, which you can also use. So for our fertilizer, right now we are using this wonderful homemade compost. And the other thing that this compost does, it holds moisture pretty nicely also. So there you go. You are on your way. As with other new transplants, as soon as you're in the ground and you're ready to go, you water. Needs a good drink of water. So that's what we're going to do now. And we're not watering the leaves. We're watering at the base. And I'm watering also in the little well that, well, it's a kind of a little moat. And you can be generous so that you can ensure that this moisture, this water, is going right down to the bottom of that plant roots system. Okay. We've already showed you how we use the compost, and that's for nutrient value. Now we're going to talk about mulching, the purpose of which is to keep moisture around the plant and available to the plant, and also to keep weeds at bay. Some people use straw, some people use wood chips. We have a lot of grass clippings, and so we use that. And other people use plastic. We don't like plastic, but sometimes that's the practical thing for some people. So here we are. For supporting the plants as they grow, and we've told you these things will go up to the roof of the greenhouse, we use the string and clip method. And so as soon as it's high enough to begin that they need a little help, we will lower the string and put the first clip in. And we'll follow this through the season, so you will see the progression until they're up to the very top. Well, we've done the first one. Looks pretty happy. And now, 31 to go. So we'll be doing the rest of this work, and we're happy that you joined us, and we'll see you the next time as we continue the life story of our tomato plants.